isometric moves. And isometric moves mean we're going to be holding a body weight position or exercise still. We're going to hold our form completely still, about 45 seconds, and really integrate the body and work it without movement, without forcing, jumping, forcing into joint systems, and without moving around. So isometric moves are another way that you can make your body strong without equipment and without cardio. It's just another format, another variety that we can bring to you. Different exercises, you'll know them, but we're just going to be holding them static. There's a lot of benefit to isometric training, but again, what do we want to do? We want to move some format every day, consistent in our movement, whatever that looks like. And then we want to be varied. We want to have variety in the way we move so that our body keeps propelling us forward on our fitness journey, our wellness journey, and we don't get too acclimated and our body stops working for us. So consistency of movement and variety of movement. And this isometric training is just another way, a varied movement that you can incorporate. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. Hit that button so that you can get the playlist and you can make your variety playlist. You can create your own by integrating different ones together so that you never have the same workout. And that's the reason why we do it this way. Also, we want to be adaptive and flexible. So you could break this down throughout the day and consider that you don't have to do it all together. Make sure that you've got water. I've got a mat. I don't have my sneakers on because I'm inside and my neighbor's sleeping downstairs. So what do you want to do? You want to put on your very comfortable, stable shoes to do this workout. And we want to go ahead and get you warmed up. And I'm just going to step side to side. And we're not doing cardio, so we don't have to move fast today. There's a cardio one that's coming up. But everybody can do this. Not going to be in any crazy inversions. There is going to be one exercise that I'm going to use some heavier weights with. And I'm just going to be holding them above my head. I'll bring my heart rate up, but it's just a standing lift. And consider that if you don't have a set of weights, take it out. It's not a big deal. Or you can hold your arms up over your head without your weights. All right, I'm just twisting and rinsing out my spine, lifting everything up, might circle my arms. I'm going to use my whole body today in a static way. And I'm just getting it warmed up. I might want to open up my hips and then take it back. Bring my knees up and engage my glutes. Definitely going to be using those today. And squat down. Remember your form. Now with isometric training, with most training, I'm going to step side to side. Form is the most important thing. How your form is creates good habits in your workout. And good form leads to less risk of injury. And so we want that. All right, let me circle out my arms a little bit more. 3 to 5 minutes of warm up. And then we'll cool everything down. Take that breath up and exhale that down. Now, super important with isometric training. When people, especially like planks, when you think you're working your abs, because you are, they'll hold their breath. With isometric training, you want to continue, with all training, you want to continue breathing. Please do not hold your breath in an isometric move. We want the oxygen coming through your body, even though our body is static and still. We want to incorporate skin to muscle to bone. We're squeezing everything in, pulling our body nice and tall, squeezing those muscles and making them contract and making them work. However, You want oxygen in your body, so keep breathing. Super important. Our first one's going to be a squat. If you are new to my channel, you can go into the playlist. There is a tutorial on squats, proper squats and proper lunges, proper planks. Please go in and refer to that and go over your form again. So I will cue, but I'm not gonna re-go over that because there's already a video in there for that. So what we want to do, I'm gonna find my timer. All right, about 45 seconds. And we're going to squat down. Notice that my knees are behind my toes, my apple's under my chin. I'm long and lean here, and my glutes are parallel to my knees, and I'm breathing. I'm gonna squeeze everything towards each other, drive my heels down into the mat, and sit back in my chair. Your hands can be here, your hands can be here, your hands can be out here. What we don't want is dumping and rounding of the back, or dumping of the shoulders, or dropping your head below your heart. Keep it up. Your legs should be on fire. You have 4 seconds left. You're almost there. And then release and relax. So your quadriceps are really burning, because that's really what you're working when you're working a squat. We're working our glutes, but we're working really those big muscles in your legs. I'm going to keep working you through the different planes of motion. So now you're going to find a plank position. So I'm going to bring you down to the ground. Low plank for you. And again, I'll do it from the side so that you can see that it's not this. I see this a lot, or this, right? We want to be level, like I'm making my back a table and you're gonna sit down to eat at the table. So we don't want food sliding off. You're not in a decline position. A lot of times when people have weak abs or a low back issue, their butt will shoot into the air and they'll think they're in plank, but they're not fully in a plank. So we want to get the positioning right first. Your hands can come down flat in dolphin, or they can come on the side, depending on what's more comfortable for your shoulders. Your apple is going to be under your chin, your neck is in neutral, and you're looking to the end of the mat. And then we're just coming out straight, flat, not here, here. Pull the pit of your belly in and up. And then breathe through this. We're not holding our breath, we're just squeezing our abs to our spine and our spine to our abs. So you're integrating your body. And it shouldn't feel like you're dumping everything into your shoulders. You should really squeeze and integrate the body so that you feel a little light and tight on those shoulders. And breathe, 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 breathe. And then relax. So you can come down to a child's pose and then begin to stretch out that spine. That's okay. Isometrics are a great way to make your body really strong. You learn how to integrate all of your body. Okay, now we're going to do low squat. Is yogi squat. You're very low. You can turn your feet out a little bit so that you've got room. So you can either be here, or you can be here, but you need your knees behind your toes. I recommend yogi squat. It opens up the hips a little bit better. And then sit down into it, stretch your body long, tall, and lean, and then breathe into it. I'm gonna pull the pit of my belly in and up and draw my spine tall. Notice that I'm not dropping my head below my heart, and I'm breathing in and out. I've got oxygen coming in. I've driven my heels down into the ground like roots. I'm opening up my hips with my triceps. They're integrating into that body. and then release. So when I release out of this, I'm going to bring my feet 12 o'clock and then begin to roll all the way up. Now that we've done squat, plank, and low squat, we're going to do a side plank, one on each side. Now you can modify this. I've done these before, where you can come down, have one foot on the ground, and lift up and work it that way. You can also put your legs in scapation. Just make sure shoulders and hips follow each other, or you can stack your hip. You can also do this in a low plank where you're on your forearm. So I want you to go ahead and decide. It may not look the same on right side, left side. You may have a shoulder issue or something going on, so you may have to switch. Pick one of those side planks for you. That's right, get into position, and then we'll get started. Breathe, 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 breathe. Integrate everything in. You should not feel like you're dumping everything into your wrist. Yogi fingers and lift your body up, light and tight. I'm breathing in and out. And then release down. Perfect. Now, if you've been on your wrist and you want to dorsiplantar flex it and roll it out, go ahead and do that if it feels like you've put a little bit on there. But use your yogi fingers, right, so that you're not putting all of your weight on your wrist flexors and extensors. Now, each side could look a little different. You're going to decide. You're going to decide which position's best, and then we're going to go for it. Breathe in and out. Pull the pit of your belly in and up. Shoulders and hips follow each other. No matter if you have a knee down or you're in scapation of your feet, it's okay. Drive everything up. Pull everything in. Integration. And then release down. And again, you can dorsiplantar flex at your wrist flexors. You can do lion's paw, that feels good, and roll out your wrist. All right, so we have done a right and a left side. We've done what's called sagittal because we've done the squatting, and we've done prone because we did planks. So we've done almost all planes of motion. We're going to do a supine right now. So we're going to hold bridge position in our supine position. I'm going to lay down. I want my low back to integrate first. And what do we want? We want our belly to be like driven into the spine. I'm going to roll my shoulders back. I also want my legs to be in position for my hips. I'm going to take my two fists, put them between my knees, and then drop my feet down and plant them. When I lift up, my knees are going to stack over my ankle. And we're going to lift our pelvis up and integrate and hold. But we're going to breathe. Lift up, find that shoulder shelf, pull everything in and up. I'm driving my legs towards the center line of my body and pulling my spine and my abs together. I've got an apple under my chin, looking straight up. I'm looking at you, but my knees are in alignment, and I'm driving everything in and up and breathing. Really, really good. Strong abs, strong back, strong abs, strong legs. Squeezing in, skin to muscle to bone. Integration isometrics. And then lower down. Now, if you need to stretch out your low back, you can windshield wipe. And then you can bring your knees to your chest and press your low back into the mat if that's something that you need to do. Consider not driving your knees out of a bridge right away. So either lengthen your legs out or do what I did. Just a little windshield wipe, just a little stretch of that lower lumbar before you bring this in, just so that you don't shock your spine. You'll get that little, like if you hit your funny bone and it feels really weird, you may get that through your spine if you do that too quickly. So take your time getting out of this position. You don't have to work at my pace. I'm just showing you the way, and then you get to create. All right, so now we've done every plane of motion, and then we're gonna go back through some other body weight exercises, some other positions, and continue on. We're going to do prone now, 2-point bridge. And we've done this in yoga, it's bird dog. We've done it with Pilates, where we've pointed our toe and then moved, like very graceful dancing. So you can do this a lot of ways. And this is a modified plank position. It's balance, so it works a lot of things. And then when you hold it and integrate everything in, you're doing a little bit more. So a lot of core work here, a lot of balance. You want to find a focal point to work on. I'm going to do this catty corner so you can see. Now remember, when we set up for bird dog or 2-point bridge, we set up tabletop first. So 2 fists between your knees and then drop down. Make sure that your hip and your knee is in alignment. You can do a toes here, top of the feet planted in, one leg is going to be out, right? Or you can do a toe stand. I like toe stand. We're going to dorsiflex. It's not going to be a Pilates move today. It's going to be more of a yogic move because we're holding it static. Apple under my chin. I'm going to integrate my belly and roll my shoulders back. My shoulders, my elbow, and my wrists are going to be in alignment. Nice softness in the joints. So the first thing I'm going to do is lift my left arm up by my ear. Then my right foot's going to come out, and I'm going to draw it up, and we're going to hold it there. And I'm breathing in and out. Hi, buddy. We're doing our isometrics today, and you can relax. Jax always likes to show up. Turn sides, you don't have to. You're just going to do the opposite arm. So, right arm up. I'm going to reset my body and left foot out. So opposite. Sometimes people try to do the same side, so a little harder. If you think it's hard, check and make sure you've got opposite arm, opposite leg. And I'm breathing in and out. Integration. And then go ahead and release. So that would be considered a prone position, face down, even though I'm not on my face. All right, supine would be boat, what we call Navasana or boat. And we've done high, low boat, the 100 teaser in Pilates. You can go into our playlist and pull all of these up. We're going to hold it static, isometric move. So your isometric move, if you're just starting out, you can hold right up under here. And you're breathing in and out. You can lengthen, you can be here. We're not moving, so no pulsing like we would do in Pilates. We're just holding it really tight. So if you feel like your arms are going to move, squeeze them by your side and just hold that really tight. You are breathing in and out. We want to breathe. And then here we go. Incorporate your body into the center line of your body. Lift your body up nice and tall. Hold it static. Squeeze, 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 squeeze everything in. Breathe. Don't hold your breath. And then release. Now you could, up under the chin, fold over from here and really stretch out your low back, your low lumbar, your QL. Open up those hips a little bit by just taking that nice stretch. Breathe in and out. Oh, that should feel really good. Okay, we're going to do a few more, but we're going to do them standing up. If you have a heavy set of weights around, you're going to go ahead, squat down, pick those up, make sure you don't drop your head below your heart. Even though we're not working where your heart rate's really, really high, we always want to be safe and always pick up our heavy weights, our light weights, anything up off the ground. We want to do it safely, so you want to squat down for that. All I'm going to do is split my stance because I'm going to protect my low back and hold my weights above my heart, not hyperextended, just hold it. And breathe in and out. Overhead lift. I'm going to ground my feet down like roots. Feet are stable, ankles move. Knees are stable and soft. Hips are your mover. Low back is stable, always, always, always. My upper body, my thoracic, that's my mover. My neck is always, always stable. Notice I have softness in my elbow joints because I want oxygen coming through. And my heart rate's coming up because I have my heavy weights over my head. And then softly bring them in towards your body before you put them down. And then I'm going to squat down, apple under the chin, and place them on the ground. So we're done with that. So strength, mover, holding static, isometric movement. And now we're going to go over our isometric sumo or a plie. Right foot and left foot facing out. Ground down, toes. Now my knees are not pushing in this way, they're pushing back this way. So I want to take my bucket and roll it under. Right? Remember we've talked about the bucket. Go back in the playlist. Roll the shoulders back and then sit down into your squat. Like I've tied myself to a pole. From here all the way down, my axis goes straight through. And I'm just going to breathe into this. My knees are not going to concave in. They're pushing back. And I'm breathing. And whoa, I am feeling my hamstrings, my adductors, my abductors, inside, outside of those thighs, my glutes, and all those rotators that connect my glutes onto my hamstrings. And I'm breathing, 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 breathing. And then I'm going to release. So as I release, I want to come up and then turn my toes 12 o'clock and then step towards one foot or the other, just so that my knees are nice and safe. When we do pliés, sumos, whatever you want to call them, and you come in and up, whether you're doing repetitions or you're doing a static isometric move, to come out of it, be safe. Turn your toes then 12 o'clock and step out. Don't try to come out of it with your knee facing this direction and your core facing this direction. You're gonna hurt your, the medial and lateral part of your knee. All right, we only have a few left. We want to do dragon, which is a lizard pose in yoga, but without the stability of your hands. Your hands are going to come up to the side, and so it's going to look like this. I'm going to come down on the ground like I'm doing my Anjaneyasana. Then I'm going to tuck my toe in the back, and my hands are going to come over to the inside, but then I'm going to lift them up here. And then I'm going to lift and make my dragon right here. My knee stacks over my ankle. My neck is in a neutral position. I'm looking to the end of my mat, and I'm stretching my body on both ends. And I'm squeezing to the center line of my body. Integration in my isometric move. Pull the pit of your belly in and up. And breathe. Breathe through. And then release down. So you can come back and stretch if you need to, and just stand that up. Make sure that your apple is under your chin so you don't get dizzy. We don't drop our head below our heart when we do that. And then we just come to the other side. So your static leg that's in the front, that's in an L, the top of your quad is going to burn because you're really working your legs in dragon. And we're going to come to the other side. Again, I want to ground down my foot. Big toe mound, pinky toe mound, heel. My knee is going to be stacked. Then I'm going to draw my leg long and lean. Lean over, keep that apple under the chin, and hold my arms up and integrate everything. Breathe in and out. And then release. So again, Ardha Hanumasana or standing Ardha Hanumasana, just to stretch out your glute. I'm going to turn my body and then roll it back up. You should really feel your legs there. We want to get into the lower part of the legs too to balance everything out. We have worked our core. We have worked our arms by holding our body up in side plank and plank. We have worked our legs. Pretty much everything, back and abs when we did bridge. I'm gonna work into the tibials, into our calves. And all I'm gonna do is push up into a calf raise and hold it. Now I have to find a focal point so that I can hold that there. Let me find that. Roll my shoulders back, roll it down, tuck my abs in, apple under the chin, and I'm breathing while I'm standing up on my toes in this static position, and your calves are going to shake, and that's okay. Making them strong and balancing out the big muscles in your upper legs with your tibials. So smaller muscles, your calves they lay over top of each other, but that's really what's holding your bottom legs up. And you'll see that my feet, my ankle is my mover, so my ankle wants to move, and that's okay. And then lower down. Now you want to work out that ankle joint after you do that one. Right, dorsiplantar flex, just like you would do your wrist. And then circle them out, just like you would do your wrist flexor and extensor, because we want to work out those joint systems. Okay, I have one more left for you, and then I'm going to stretch you out and call it a day. Lunges. So I'm going to come back, tap down. Body's going to be straight up, and then I'm going to lift my knee up off the ground, and we're going to be working that. So my knee's in an L, my legs in an L. I'm straight up. I've got my shoulders rolled back. I've integrated everything. My knee is behind my toe. That's the important part here, and I'm breathing through it. And then step out of that when you're done. You can shake your legs. Everything should be on fire in your legs. Notice that that's right side, left side, so different plane of motion, and one side may be different than the other. So consider, strengthen the one side. Just be aware of how it feels, what you need to do. Most important thing, form. Second most important thing, breathing through it. You want to be breathing. You want to make sure your form is good. Tighten everything up, light and tight. And done. That's it. I'm going to stretch you out. Isometrics are done. You'll still want to hydrate your body. You'll still want to stretch your body. Incorporate isometrics in. You need no equipment, small space. It's easy to do. Make sure your form's on point. Lift up, stretch that quadricep. Lift up. Squeeze up. And remember, you can work into those joint systems. I'm going to sit down into my hip. Open that up. Notice that I haven't done anything with my neck. We've moved in a different way today. Isometrically, statically. Still considered exercise, still considered movement. We made it different. It's varied. It's not what we normally do. Usually I have bands or weights or body weight, and we're moving through. We're not holding so much static. When we do it occasionally, we throw it in, but this one is just to teach you isometric moves so that you can either incorporate them into your moving workouts, or you can do this as a workout, and then you can add this onto something else like cardio or yoga or stretch. Pilates, you can move them through. Or you can do isometrics and then do your weightlifting, pick up some weights and see the difference in how tired your muscles have already gotten. You can take a lot of body weight exercises and make them isometric. Just want to be aware of doing different planes of motion and having your form on point. So practice the form over everything else. Don't forget to hydrate your body through the day. You want 8 ounces of water and get that in. You can add and infuse fruits and cucumbers and mint. And that was a question, a very good question. Yes, it's still water, so you're still getting water in, but you can infuse that. I drink a lot of lemon water. I put lemons and limes in my water, makes it refreshing. It's antioxidant, it helps, but you could add cinnamon to your water. If you want it really spicy, you could add ginger to your water. So you can make anti-inflammatory, fat burning. You can do it that way, but still get your 8 ounces in. So you can do it that way. Yes, green tea counts if it's decaffeinated. Remember, for every caffeinated drink you drink, so when I have my cup of coffee in the morning, I need to add another 8 ounces of water to that because caffeine will dehydrate you. So consider that as well. Caffeine earlier in the morning and then less in the evening so it doesn't disrupt your sleep cycle. All of those things matter. But if you want to make your waters flavorful, go for it. Don't forget to hit your button, like, subscribe, and share. Live your life 360. That just means whole person wellness. And we'll see you for the next video. Bye.